Thembisa residents, a 3,000 rand monthly electricity bill is simply unaffordable. And this is one of the major reasons why they've taken to the streets to protest recently. Let's talk now to Ekurhuleni Finance MMC Fanyana Nkosi, who's joining us now virtually. Mr. Nkosi, good afternoon. I mean, can the Ekurhuleni Metro do something about these high rates that the people say they are really suffering under? And you've seen these have led now to protests which have tended to be violent. Can you do something about it?
Yeah, good afternoon to yourself and also to the viewers at home. In terms of, I think even the MEC has clearly explained this, that as a city, in terms of the tariffs are regulated by NERSA, of which we buy our energy from Eskom. And then in terms of the rate, those tariffs, there's nothing much as a city that we can do, but also escalated to the level of National Treasury or even NERSA for that case. But in terms of how we relieve those who are unable to pay, we have an indigent policy at place that takes care of those who are not working, those who cannot afford. Our indigent policy is very clear, and we have elevated the indigent policy. So for those households who are not working, to the household income of 7,400. I think there's also a need for our ward councillors or councillors at large, when they go have community meetings, explained different tariffs to our residents. We found that in the city, we have a tariff A up until tariff E, tariff A being for those who cannot afford and their usage is very low. But once you exceed that tariff, then it goes to tariff B, which most residents don't know about it, that they must apply for tariff B if their usage is over a certain amount of kilowatts per month.
Have you informed the residents about Tariff B? Have you done something about it to make sure that they know about it?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying maybe as councillors or as a city, we need to do those workshops where we explain to residents, if you are in this tariff, is it affordable for you? If you are in this tariff, it's at your detriment or at your advantage. For instance, on tariff A, it's affordable for those who their usage is less than 600 kilowatts per month. But once they go outside of that, then it charges more. Maybe that's why most of the outcries come from. They say now, when I buy units of 500 rand, my units come down to, they fluctuate between 30 or 40, depending, but they have not calculated how much they use per month.
Okay. Now, you've mentioned the fact that you, as a city council, you buy electricity in bulk from Eskom, and NERSA, the National Energy Regulator, sets the tariffs for Eskom, and Eskom charges you. Do you add more? Do you add extra as you supply your residents? We act something, but not too exorbitant. Remember as well, we need to build infrastructure that has been old. We need to maintain our infrastructure. We add something, but not more than not even more than 2% of what we're being charged from NERSA. So could you, as a relief of sorts, subtract that for the households that are earning below a certain threshold? I think you call them under Tariff A.
Yeah. Like I've explained, we encourage those who are able to afford to pay, and those who are unable to afford, that's why we give them a platform. Come to our offices. If you are an indigent, register and be treated like that as an indigent. Then you won't be penalized for anything. You'll pay as normal as those who are not affording. But if you don't come forward and say I cannot afford, we cannot actually determine who can afford and who cannot afford if our indigent are not coming forward. And there's an issue where they say we have taken away indigent. We haven't taken away any indigent. Residents should be informed that the indigent is still there, and we have elevated it. What needs to happen is that they need to go to our customer care centers and apply for those indigent. And I've committed myself as an MMC in finance that I will have a week
of the whole team of finance going there with different departments, because indigent is not actually a finance issue and it's a health issue, but we coordinate from the finance side to go there and avail ourselves so that people can come with necessary documents and apply and be assisted on the spot.
Okay, so you're going to go there and explain to people that there are avenues for them to pay less than what they've currently been paying. Do you know how many people of Thembisa would qualify?
At this point, because we don't have an updated indigent register, it's not easy to say, unless you have those people come forward and say, I have not been employed since when, and this is my household income, or I'm a pensioner. That's the only way we'll know. But in terms of also the pensioners, we have rebates for pensioners. They come forward, they apply for their rebates, and they don't get charged as much as the normal resident.
Okay, thank you very much, MMC for Finance for City of Ekurhuleni, Mr. Fanyana Nkosi, just explaining how they are planning now to tackle this issue of the high municipal rates and electricity tariffs for the people of Thembisa.